member of LSK.
Yes, I want to say, Chair, that as part of my introduction, that I have interacted with a candidate in other legal fields, but I will be objective in my summary of his candidature before this panel. My name again, Mr. Ngwele, Linda Kiome. I serve as the chairperson of this panel. Karibu sana.
Thank you very much.
Karibu Bwana Muvengei. Naitwa Kipkoech Andrew Tanui, mwana kamati wa jopo la uteuzi. Asante.
Thank you very much.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, Council.
My name is Caroline Kituku.
Yes.
I represent LSK in this panel. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, Bwana Ngwele.
Good afternoon, Professor.
My name is Adam Solo. I serve in this selection panel.
Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, Jacob.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir.
My name is Bore, member of the panel.
Most obliged.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Madam.
My name is Fatuma Ali Saman, and a member of the panel.
Most obliged.
Good afternoon, Mr. Ngwele Muvengei.
Good afternoon, Abasanda.
My name is Koki Muli Grino, and I'm a member of the panel. Karibu sana.
Most obliged, sir.
Good afternoon, Jacob.
Good afternoon, sir.
My name is Evans Misati. I'm a member of this selection panel. Karibu sana.
Thank you very much.
So, Mr. Muvengei, allow us the honor of getting to know you, and perhaps briefly just tell us why you are interested in this position, why you are the best fit, as you introduce yourself.
Thank you very much, Chairman and distinguished panelists. My name is Jacob Ngwele Muvengei. I'm 47 years old, come from Kitui County, and an advocate of the High Court of Kenya. This is my 18th year of practice as an advocate of the High Court. Upon my admission to the bar, I briefly worked for a period of 3 years as an associate advocate in a law firm by the name Gadia Mushero, where I was a senior associate specializing in an area of law we refer to as litigation, which is basically dispute resolution. Having worked there for a period of 3 years, I saw an advertisement by Parliamentary Service Commission where they were requiring to recruit clerk assistants. I took the initiative, I applied, and I was fortunate among the 20 who were recruited. So I joined in, that is the year 2009, as a clerk assistant. I know this panel being secretariat by Parliament, you understand clearly that the clerk of Parliament is assisted at his technical level with officers who carry the title clerk assistant, so that there's no confusion in the title of clerk. So upon joining Parliamentary Service Commission as a clerk assistant, I was deployed in the Directorate of Committee Services. In the Directorate of Committee Services, I was assigned duties in 2 committees. First, I was assigned duties as the clerk in charge of the Committee on Delegated Legislation. I was fortunate because ordinarily in Parliament, they don't assign what we refer to as rookies or monos to undertake those duties of supporting or being the head of the secretariat of a committee. And again, I was also assigned to a committee, a departmental committee. By then, it used to have the name Departmental Committee on Energy and Information, where again, after a period of around 6 months, together with a colleague of mine, whom we had joined together, we were fortunate again to be designated as the lead clerks, which was also an honor of having accorded to us who are the entrants. So at the Committee on Delegated Legislation, this was a new committee in our jurisdiction. We did not have a parliamentary mechanism to scrutinize development of legislations, subsidiary legislations in Kenya. The committee had already been established, but having been appointed as the head of the secretariat, the technical advisor to the committee, My chair lady at the time was Basandamina Abdallah. We realized that there were gaps in terms of the standing orders were not adequate. They were not clear enough in terms of the how the committee will be able to discharge its mandate. And we also established that there was also gaps at the national legislation, which provided the national legal framework for development of subsidiary legislations in Kenya. Having established that, I assisted the committee to come up with amendments to the standing orders. I drafted the standing orders, and these standing orders are the ones which are still now in the standing orders of the National Assembly, which were also adopted in the standing orders of the Senate. And with the advent of the county governments, those same standing orders are the ones which are applicable to all the county assemblies in Kenya. Basically, these are the model standing order which I assisted the committee to develop. With respect to the issues of national legal framework, we, in the committee, assisting the committee and the technical advice of the committee came to the opinion that there was need to develop a standalone legislation which will facilitate a whole-encompassing legislation to assist in the scrutiny of statutory instruments in Kenya. So for that reason, I drafted for the committee a law by the name Statutory Instruments Act. That is the law which now governs the development, scrutiny of subsidiary legislations in Kenya. Well, still at the Committee on Delegated Legislation, around the year 2012, since the Elections Act provides that all the electoral regulations must first of all be submitted to Parliament for pre-approval, we in the committee were assigned the duties of reviewing the regulations which were supposed to midwife the elections which was coming in 2013. It took a while before the regulations were submitted to Parliament. In fact, my experience in that regulation is that I had to walk all the way to Anniversary Towers and literally came carrying those regulations because it was in November, around October, and that there was a set timelines when the regulations are supposed to be developed. So with that having been tabled, in the Joint Committee of Delegated Legislation and Legal Affairs, I worked together with my colleagues and also officers from the IC to review those regulations. We drafted them for a period of 5 days. And of course, they were done in a hurry, so we had to do 80% of the work. That was my first engagement with electoral laws. We drafted the elections regulations, general regulations. We also drafted the voter registration regulations, and we also drafted the dispute resolution regulations. These are the regulations which were passed on time to assist on midwife the elections. Chair?
Do you want to proceed with your introduction so that we deal with your introduction before your achievements?
So,
yeah,
okay, I can. So basically, I can say.
So you had reached at clerk assistant.
After working as a clerk assistant, I was deployed in the legal department in Parliament, where I rose through the ranks as a senior legal counsel, and eventually, by the time I left Parliament, I was a principal legal counsel. Chair, in the year 2013, I applied and was appointed as a founding clerk of Nairobi County Assembly. I was sent there as an interim clerk, and I was the one who was supposed to start and develop the county assembly. So that was also the path, I worked there for a period of 9 years. And afterwards, I left the assembly in the year 2022, after the new government had come into place, and there were challenges which, given opportunity later, I'll be able to explain. And I was supposed, given the circumstances, I was either supposed to go back or start my legal practice. For that purpose, I decided to open my law firm, where I am now as a managing partner. I'm also a consultant. I also run a consultancy firm called the Legislative Center, where also I am the managing partner dealing with the issues of legislative development. For the last 2 years, I've also been the legal advisor to the governor of Isiolo County. So, Chair, back to your question, the reason why I believe that I'm suitable to become the chairman of IEBC is that, based on my experience, I have a well-rounded qualifications, both as a political manager. I also have legislative experience, I also have public finance management and administration experience, and I'm also a lawyer of a period of 18 years, so therefore I have legal experience to be an effective chairman of IBC.
As a legal advisor to the governor of Isiolo County, is that a civil service job or it's a consultancy? What is it?
It was a contract job which whose term has ended, which has already come to an end. It's a political appointment. Legal advisors are not per se within the scheme of service of the basically governor's officers within the governor's office. So we work under the chief of staff, and we are not in the mainstream county public service. But my contract has come to an end.
But you draw a salary?
Yes, we draw salaries and allowances.
And at the same time, you're running a law firm?
No, because these are part-time jobs. All the political advisors are part-time jobs. They're not full-time officers.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Madam Lina?
Thank you, Chairman. Mr. Ngwele Mvengei. Now, apart from your professional legal background, which we are aware that you are well grounded, looking at the documents that are before us, and your experience as an advocate of 18 years standing. Apart from that, do you have any other skills, competencies, and disciplines outside the legal profession that you intend to use if you become the chairman of the IEBC in your administration?
Yes. Thank you very much, my learned counsel. I believe that I possess around 5 skill sets, which makes me an ideal candidate to become the chairman of IBC. Based on the experience, having worked in parliament, having worked in the county government, I possess political management experience. I believe that the chairman of IBC, the IBC is a political institution. The IBC is an institution which midwives and which assists in midwifing the political process in the country. Therefore, the IBC requires a chairman who possesses political management experience to assist the commission navigate the political landscape and also in stakeholder engagement with the politicians. Apart from the public, who are also one of the clans for the IBC, the other stakeholder for IBC are the political actors. And therefore, a chairman of IBC requires to possess political management experience. And having worked in national parliament, having worked in the County Assembly of Nairobi, which is a politically charged institution, both of them are politically charged institutions, have developed skill sets and experiences which, if I become the chairman of IBC, I will be able to assist the commission achieve in its stakeholder engagement and navigate the political landscape. The other skill and experience which I bring to the table is public management and administration experience. I've been an accounting officer for a period of over 8 years. I've been an accounting officer of Nairobi County Assembly. Nairobi County Assembly is the largest county assembly in Kenya. Out of the 49 legislatures in Kenya, if you count Senate and the 47 county assemblies, Nairobi County Assembly is the second largest legislature in Kenya. I've been the accounting officer for that particular institution, and during my tenure in the county assembly, when I went to the county assembly and I was sent by the transition authority to establish the assembly, there were no institutions. I came from parliament. When I landed in City Hall, there were no institutions. The only thing which I went there with was Article 177 of the Constitution, together with the sergeants at arms, officers in this, who serve the assembly. So I had to build the institution from the scratch. At that period of time, I had only 1 month to swear in the members of the county assembly. So upon landing in City Hall, unlike other assemblies in the country who are lucky and privileged to have inherited established structures, that is, all the county assemblies were supposed to inherit the municipal structures, that is, the county government structure, staff, and the buildings. Nairobi County Assembly did not inherit any. All the facilities, the staff, and employees were transited to the executive arm. So having landed there, I had a period of 1 month to swear in members of the county assembly. And within that 1 month, and there were 127 members. That is the largest number of MCAs in the country. Of course, the second one is almost 90. So upon swearing in the members, I had to build the structures. The first one was the county assembly structure, which is a constitutional body. I had to assist in the establishment of the county assembly. That is the political side of the assembly.
So what skill is that?
So this skill is a public finance management and administration skill.
Okay.
And with that particular skill, just a follow-up on that skill, the county assembly is a mirror of national assembly. So they have to be the body which is responsible for the day-to-day providing services and facilities and oversight of the administration of the assembly. It's called the County Assembly Service Board. I also had to establish the County Assembly Service Board, where I became the secretary of the board. So here I was the procedural advisor and also the secretary of the board. Upon the board coming into place, I established the structure of the county assembly. We did not have the organizational structure for the institution. So I came up with the organizational structure. I assisted the board in recruitment of officers. I personally, because of my vast experience in National Assembly, I participated in building the capacity of these officers, developed the manuals and the regulations which govern the services. So, Chairman, this demonstrates that I possess administrative experience. In terms of the public finance management structure, experience is that the assembly did not have any building. The assembly did not have any offices. The assembly did not have a chamber. The assembly did not have a committee room. It had 0. And I brought a proposal to the board, and having brought the proposal to the board, we agreed that we needed to build a new chamber. We did not have a chamber. The chamber we were supposed to inherit was actually the old council chamber, which could only accommodate 60 MCAs. But here we were 127 MCAs, and then this house ought to function. What we did is I identified a building, an abandoned, disused facility within the city hall. It used to be a movie theater. So within a period of 3 years, within a period of 2 years, with a budget of 600 million, I was able to remodel that movie theater into an assembly chamber, equipped with modern, ultra-modern digital multimedia congress system. From that project, Chair, I'm proud to inform this panel that we made a saving of 70 million, and we did not use any consultant. I requested the county secretary to second technical officers from the executive who assisted in the project. That project, Chair, has never raised any single audit query. That project was never investigated, has never raised any criminal or any malpractice in terms of procurement. We delivered it on time, we paid all the contractors, and we never had pending bills. So, Chairman, this demonstrates my public finance management experience. I believe that IBC requires a chairman who has got practical experience. Even though procurement is the preserve of the technical officers in the IEBC, the IEBC requires a chairman who has got hands-on experience, who can guide and assist the commission in implementing its procurement processes.
So you have mentioned 4?
I've mentioned 2. That is, the other one, Chairman, is a legislative experience.
Okay.
So I've dealt with the political experience, political management experience.
Public administration and finance.
Public administration and finance. Public finance management and administration.
Legislation.
The legislative experience.
Then next.
The legislative experience, maybe, Chairman, if you allow me, the legislative experience is very critical. Yeah. Throughout the period of time I've served both in the county assembly and in Nairobi and parliament. I refer myself as